Yo, what's good, everybody? Today is October the 29th, 2024. Most gracious and Heavenly Father, we thank you, God, for yet another opportunity of prayer. We thank you, God, for just another chance to come humbly before your throne of grace, oh God. We actually got that you will bless our broadcast. We actually got that you will bless our guests, as well as our viewers and their families as well. I actually got that you would comfort and keep all those that are going through. Oh God, we actually got that you would especially look out and care for the homeless on this evening, oh God, as we prepare for weather changes and what have you, oh God. We actually got that you would just look over your children throughout the world that are suffering as a whole. We actually got that you would just watch over us, guide us, and keep us. We ask all these things in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Yo, what's good, everybody? Come on in. Okay, cool. What's up already? Yeah. Welcome to another edition of the Marvin Bennett Jr. Show. Um, we're gonna get started with our born day shout outs as usual. Um, I want to say happy born day to my man Warren Thompson Jr. Want to say happy born day to one of our former guests, the author, the beautiful Tiffany Farnes, Miss Frances Green, Miss Khadijah Johnson, my girl Mary, Miss Merv Leonard, Lauren Johnson, Karen Hester, another former guest, Tam Catrice. Happy born day, girl. Hope you enjoyed it to the fullest. My big bro from my airline days, Jiz Shaheed. Then I want to say happy born day to two individuals that happen to just be one, a married couple. Happy born day to Jennifer and my man Stephen Marshall. Happy born day, fam. My boy Marshall Holloway, my man Dion Hicks, Miss Shelley Winters, who's celebrating on today. My cousin Mike Postal, my other family, Joanne Horton, love you, girl. Miss Mima, Barbara Jacobs, love you. And my last but not leastly, my other cousin Kia Tucker, who celebrated on yesterday. Happy born day, Kia, as well. I want to say happy anniversary to my bro and my sis, Mr. Rodney Hot Rod, and his beautiful wife, Aaliyah Wilson, on celebrating their milestone 20 plus years. So happy anniversary to you all. Then I want to offer my condolences to the Barnes family on losing their aunt, Miss Vinell Barnes. My condolences and prayers of which you all family as during this time of grief and loss. Yeah. Um, Shaka, Gerard, Marcus Senior, Mark, all you guys, man. My prayers are with you guys. I know how important family is to you all. I seen the beautiful post that you posted, Marky. So shout out to you guys and my condolences and prayers are with you all as well. And as you guys come on in, please like and share, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, the Marvin Bennett Jr. Show on YouTube. Tell your family, tell your friends, what have you. Um, and it'll be gladly appreciated. We want to get our viewership up over on YouTube so we could start growing a little bit more. And we'll get into that a little bit later. Um, kind of stalling real nice. And let me also know which platform you guys are watching on. If you haven't done so already, please go to the Marvin Bennett Jr. channel show, not my personal channel, not my personal page, but the Marvin Bennett Jr. show page on YouTube, and please follow that there so we can get back to displaying live on that channel as well. We got to get our followers up before we can actually go live on there again. So help us by doing that. Tell your family, tell your friends to please follow the Marvin Bennett Jr. show on Facebook. So that way you'll be able to watch and other people will be able to watch. We get a broader audience from that the show's actual page on Facebook as opposed to just going through my channel itself. And again, thank everybody for that watches on YouTube. And thank you guys for all the support. I got the Cash App in the ticker. If anybody that want to send a donation, we also have it up now, running now on Facebook, where if you want to donate or contribute to the show, with stars, is gladly appreciated. The streaming service that I've been using, they actually went up 80% last month. So that wasn't aware of that. So it is costly. It don't cost you guys anything to watch the show, but I do pay for the services needed to be able to bring the show to you guys. So I would actually appreciate and ask you guys for your help and your support in that manner. So any stars that you want to share on Facebook or anything that you want to send to Cash App is gladly appreciated, and I thank you all in advance. Like I tell you guys each and every week, this show is no show. It does not exist without you, the viewers, and in the comments as well. You guys make all of this possible. Other than that, it's just a dude up here talking. And so I really appreciate you guys for rocking out with me and entrusting me to bring you guys good content week in and week out. So please support the show financially if you find it in your heart to do so. And it's gladly appreciated. I'm just waiting on tonight's guest to join us. She's running a little bit late. Um, but yeah, I want to appreciate I want to thank everybody. We're less than a week left before the election day. I'm about to say inauguration, but election day. Um, thank God. I know I'm quite sure the rest of you guys are just as well as myself. I'm tired of the phone calls. I'm tired of the texts. So I'm so glad that we're just a week away from the drama. And I was just thinking earlier the day while I was traveling. I was wondering if anybody else. It's kind of a rhetorical question, but I wonder if anybody else seen the irony of this country being called the United States, where we're divided on so many levels: women's rights, men's rights, Democrats, Republicans, South, North, white, black. Like it's funny. I found it very humorous that we're considered as the United States when we're divided on so many different levels. I thought that was just interesting. And I wondered if anybody else seen the or noticed the irony in that. Um, Again, those that are in here, those that are already watching live, please let me put in the comments which platform that you're watching on, whether it be Facebook or YouTube. Let me know that you're out there. Um, I don't get a notification like who's the watching. I just see how many people in the room, what have you. I don't see actually who you are. So please feel free to comment and leave something in the comment section so I know who's tuning in. And I appreciate you guys as well. Um, what else was there? Um, interesting, interesting. Look, hey, what's good? What's good, Tanya? Hey, what's up, La? Yeah, you know what I mean. I gotta rock the pink. You know what I'm saying? Always, I've been rocking pink every show for the month of October because I stand in solidarity with the women. I stand in solidarity with the tatas. I love the tatas just as much as everybody else. And, and you know, with it being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we want to bring exposure to that. I ain't want to overdo it live, but I even got my scarf. I got my breast cancer awareness scarf, the pink that I could rock with it. But you know what I'm saying? I say this when I go outside. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm making light of it, but it is not something to be played with. It's not something to joke about. And oh, absolutely. I'm a Hooter man all day. Hey, what's funny is like I lost my yearbook. Well, my yearbook was stolen out of one of my teacher's car the weekend that I got it. And maybe about a year or two ago, I was with a friend that I graduated with. And nah, I'm telling you, I can rock anything. um, but I was visiting with a friend, and I got to see a chance to look at the yearbook, and that was actually my saying because you know how like when you graduate as a senior, you got your sayings in the yearbook or what have you, to be remembered by. And they actually had two. I don't even feel right saying it no more. But one of my first one was Hooters because like Al Bundy, I used to all walk around the hallways all day. Hey, what's up, Hooters? And the Hooters, I've always been a breast man myself. But the other one was I know you want my body. I was something else in high school. You can go offline, but make sure them girls are getting taken care of. You're a mom, and it's been so many people that's impacted. When I think of breast cancer, I always think of Miss Patty LaBelle. our legend. And I remember years and years ago seeing her in an interview, and she was discussing how I want to say maybe it might have been her 44th birthday as it was approaching. She was just that much more terrified because she had lost her mom at that particular age to breast cancer. Not only on her mom, but also two sisters years later and apart on that very same age as they turned that age. She lost her mother and two of her siblings to breast cancer. So she was like terrified, and I could only imagine when something like that runs in your family, and as like you said, as like I said, as that birthday approaches, how can it impact you and the fear that you have as it approaches. But thank God Almighty, Miss Patty, she's still here with us, and she's thriving and excelling. So again, shout out to all the women out there. Shout out to all the ladies out there. All the survivors. I know some personally within my family and friends in my community that are breast cancer survivors. Shout out to hey, what's good, Miss Rose? Glad you got to make it on. Shout out to all the survivors that I know and all the ones that have even the ones that are continuing to fight. We had a former guest, Miss Tamara Perry, who's I believe 16 years cancer free now. So thank God for keeping her with us as well, battling breast cancer. She lost her mom as well to breast cancer. She's been a real, very big advocate for it back home in New Jersey ever since her mom passing and her diagnosis. She has a major walk up there every year. So please look her up and support that. And as future, they had it, I think it was 2 weeks ago. But all shout out to all the survivors that are out there and all the ones. I give a big heartfelt hug to people that know someone that has lost their life. They fought the fight, but they succumbed and they lost their battle fighting breast cancer. It's taking a lot of people out here, and it's like everybody always says, whether it be thyroid, whether it be throat, whether it be breast cancer, just cancer itself. Cancer sucks, man, and it's claimed a lot of us victim. But it's always good to see people fighting, and I like that when I see people that don't take it as a death sentence. You know what I mean? And it's not something a topic that we like to talk about, but we're all going to leave here eventually. You know what I mean? So I would like to think, God forbid, that I get diagnosed like it's just another day. It's just I know that I have cancer now, but eventually there are people that thrive and live with cancer on a day in day out basis. Prostate cancer, you know what I mean? Shout out to my brother who was on the show and talked about his diagnosis and everything with that there, how he's been fighting and what have you. So yeah, you ladies, you got to make sure the tatas are good and check for the lumps and everything. Go get your mammograms or what have you. But also, fellas, we got to go get our prostate examined and checked out because these things are taking us up out of here. And what all we want to do is have productive and active lives for our children, and our loved ones and the people that we affect on a day-to-day basis. So let's get out of the mentality of being scared to go to the doctor because we don't want to know. You rather know, you know what I mean, and deal with the fact of knowing than just the possibility of knowing. Because as we'll get into it with tonight's guest, when she gets here, I do believe that, and I've seen different research, and it shows how um, deadly, I mean, how early detection is a major part of it. Um, you know what I mean? So the earlier that you get checked out and know what's going on, the better off the better chances you have at survival and getting with doctors to teach you how to work with it and what have you, different things of that nature there. Um, yeah, it is off to a good start. I'm sorry, y'all. I got the hopefully not, but maybe the last game playing in Major League Baseball in the background. My Yankees, we down 3-0. Like yesterday, I thought it was going to be a good day. I had all three of my professional teams playing on yesterday, and all three of them took a L. I was just like, it was not a good day in my sports world on yesterday with the Giants, the Yankees, and the Knicks all losing. But the Yankees are down 3-0 in the World Series right now. If they lose tonight, the season is over, and nobody cares about second place. So we need them to step on up. I'm not actually about to turn it off so I don't be distracted. Um, but yeah, man, if you guys have any questions or comments for tonight's guest, as she's preparing to come in the room now, I just got notification. Feel free to put it in the comments. If you know any survivors, I would ask that you will put their name in the comment section as well, so we can give them a shout out as well. Or anybody that's living with it, you know what I mean? Or what, even if you lost someone, let's give everybody a shout out that's dealing with this thing called breast cancer. This thing that we all hate and do not like whatsoever. And in general, just how was you guys' weekend? I always appreciate you guys for tuning in. My co-hostess with the Moses, Miss Lai in the comments, Miss Rosa, who I met on TikTok, and we became pretty cool. We've been following each other. She actually allowed me to be on my first live on TikTok, so shout out to her for that as well. Marshetta Parker. You saying Marchetta's a survival Tanya? I didn't know that. Yo, so yeah, definitely shout out to Shutter. You know what I'm saying? That's the fan right there. Shout out to Marshetta. Shout out to all my aunts. I don't want to say names or whatever have you because everybody doesn't always feel comfortable knowing or everybody knowing their business, so to speak, or what have you. So yeah, that's what's up, yo. Shout out to Shutter, yo. Praying for her strength and that she keeps God keep her. Continue to fight as well. But with all that being said, I stalled long enough. I want to say welcome to the show to tonight's guest. A beautiful. I put it in the pre-show announcement. She's one of my sheroes, a humble servant, advocate. And I want to give her early, and I will text again later. But I want to give her early happy born day shout out. We'll be celebrating her birthday on tomorrow. She decided to celebrate her last day in this particular decade for herself with us tonight. So I'm honored and privileged to have none other than our guest, Miss Shana, on with us tonight. How are you doing this evening?
I'm wonderful. How y'all doing? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. So for the ones that wasn't on, that didn't tune in the last time that
Can
you were
I
on.
can I shout out a birthday?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if she watching or not, but my oldest cousin, we always say that. We always joke with each other. But
Mhm.
today is Cerinthia Bradshaw's birthday. I want to shout out to her. Love you, cuz. Happy birthday.
Happy born day, Cerinthia. Yes. So like I'm saying, give a little intro to the viewers that are viewing you for the first time.
Well, my name is Asia. Shania was some people know me as Asia, and most of the followers is from TikTok. So it's Miss Shania to you. And I'm a breast cancer warrior. We don't say survivor. We say
Mhm.
warrior. I'm currently cancer free, but
Thank
I
God.
was diagnosed all last year. Yay, cancer free, cancer free, cancer free. And I was diagnosed last year on March 9th, 2023, and went through tons and tons of operation. Well, I went through appointments, a lot of doctor's appointments, um, 4 operations, 27 rounds of chemo, 25 rounds of radiation.
Wow.
Um, I'm still under maintenance now, but I'm cancer free. October 15th of last year, the diagnostic test came back, said I was cancer free. So I'm grateful, absolutely grateful about that. And I'm just grateful to be alive, man.
I could
and
imagine.
and about to celebrate another birthday because birthdays is different. You
Mhm.
know, when I get on here, I'll be taking over, Marvin.
Nah, you good, you good, you comfortable. You know what I mean? I gotta reel you back in if I need to. But nah, you good.
But birthdays hit a little different now. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like birthdays hit just a little bit different now. Um, It's not about the big stuff anymore. It's about the connections, and it's about just being alive, because life is the gift. We sit and we want to have all this other stuff and presents and all these glamorous things to show that somebody loves somebody, but the ultimate gift of love is life. So I'm just grateful. I'm absolutely grateful.
I'm not
And
mad.
thank you and before we get all too deep all in everything, thank you for having me again. You know what I'm saying? I ain't appeared three times nowhere.
Yeah, you're a veteran. You're a Marvin Bennett Jr.
You
show
know what I'm
veteran.
saying? Salute, brother.
Yeah, no doubt. But you kind of went there. I want to ask you, and it might seem, kind of nonchalant, but how would you say your life has changed for you after being diagnosed? What was that? What do you remember what that experience was like? And what before you get to that, what led up to you actually, was it just like a routine checkup? Was it something that you found or you were
It
curious about?
was self breast exams. That's what I advocate.
Okay.
Self breast exams. Women supposed to do their self breast exams twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. It was around the end of February. I did my self breast exam, and it wasn't nothing different. I felt then.
Now, how often did you say again?
Twice a month.
Twice a month. Okay.
Before your menstrual cycle and after your menstrual cycle, because your breasts change, your body changed during that stage. So I didn't feel anything in the beginning. It was after the symptoms went away. My left breast didn't go back down to average. So, and that's when I did my self breast exam, and I felt the lump above my, in my breast. And I went and called my OBGYN and got examined with him too. And he confirmed, well, he didn't even confirm. He sent me directly to the Women's Pavilion here in Covington, Louisiana. And they did a immediate, emergent mammogram and ultrasound. And they found 3 lumps. I felt a bump. And that's why it's so important to do your self breast exams. And it's so important to go get your exams, ladies. Mm-hmm. 35 to 40, you should be already in the routine. It hurts. It sucks. Yes, it's not a nice thing to do. But if I didn't do it, I would have just felt the lump, just a bump on my breast. But I went and got my mammogram and ultrasound, and it was 3 tumors. Wow. It was a 3-centimeter tumor. That's the one I was feeling that it had started protruding, and then I had 2 lymph nodes that was cancerous. So it's very important. And how it it changed. I could say cancer happened for me. I always say that cancer happened for me. And I know most people don't understand that, but if you haven't really, and I have to say this because that's who wakes me up every morning. If you don't believe in God, you wouldn't really understand cancer happening for me. You know what I'm saying? So it really did. It made me focus on me. Mm-hmm. I was focusing on everybody but me. I was making everybody happy but me. And what cancer did was said, you ain't got no time to think about nobody else. You ain't got no time to help nobody else. And I know the ones that I didn't feel like I'm selfish and feel like I'm whatever, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I had to be there for me. I had to be my 100% supporter. I had to be my 100% cheerleader, because at the end of the day, all those relationships failed that I wanted to depend on. It's only a few. You know what I mean? It's only, they say that faithful few. It's only a few that actually still is right there in my corner. Mm-hmm. For it's like not just, hey, how you doing? Not just that, or when I see you, we hang and we kick it. I'm talking about daily checking on me and stuff. So I'm grateful. Cancer happened for me. If it was not for cancer, I would have never be who I am. I would have never been who I am because I am now the woman I always dreamed of. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own hero. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking for a hero all this time, and all the time it's been me.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
that makes perfect sense because I tell people all the time, it's one of those sad things in life, but I think it's very necessary and very needed.
mhm,
But like you say, adversity, it shows us like who really who. And one thing that I've learned in my own spiritual walk is, as painful as it may be sometimes, you know, this is just how God dealt with me. When people show you who they are, please believe them.
yeah,
Not what you want them to be, not who they say they are, because when you're battle tested, the true ones, like you say, they're going to be there for you.
yeah.
Everything else sounds fluffy and good when you're, you know what I'm saying? But when you're
Hmm.
really going through, when you have to go to the hospital, when you're in a situation where you're bedridden, when you're in a situation where you can't travel and go to the grocery for yourself, store for yourself, people will always show you who they really are. So when people show you who they are, please believe them,
Yeah.
as painful as it may be.
Yeah. And you know, and then a lot of people, I'm gonna say what you, I'm gonna just elaborate a little bit more. A lot of people like to hang on to relationships because of history,
Mm-hmm.
but the history don't mean anything if you're treating me wrong right now. If you're
Say
treating
that
me
again.
bad today, what we had back then don't matter.
Yeah,
I'm talking about right now, how you feel about me. You know what I mean? So
that's
if you
deep.
can't feel, you can't be consistent and keep that same energy, keep the same energy. The energy you show me right now, that's the energy I'm gonna believe. And when Christmas come, this the same energy. When New Year's Eve come, when your birthday come, like it's the same energy. Like I'm gonna have the same energy because you the same person, and so am I. I'm just evolving, and you doing whatever, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. So I'm gonna go over here. You know what I'm saying? But people like to hang on to relationships
Yeah.
because of the history, and the
Mhm.
history don't mean anything if you treat me bad today.
That's it. Again, I can't argue with that. Let the church say amen on that note, because you're so true. And it's like,
Don't
I think
have your
so many
feelings cut
times
up.
in romantic relationships, friendships, any kind of relationship, I think a lot of times what we do is, and I'm not saying that is right or wrong, but a lot of times what we do is we like to give people the benefit of the doubt, so to speak. Okay, when
Mhm.
they're going through this, we're going through that there. But I say it week in and week out on this show. Like, I don't just say it because it sounds good or I want people. Oh, that's a cool dude. No, when I'm quite sure anybody, my best friend, I talked to him over the weekend. He was like, yo, he was like, the first thing he said, he didn't even say hello. He was like, yo, when do you sleep? Like, if I call you 3:30 in the morning, you answer the phone. If I call you at noon, you answer the phone. Like, when do you ever sleep? And I'm like, I'm so intentional about making sure that people in my life know that I'm there for them. You know what I mean? Because not just because it sounds good, but no, everybody has a downtime. I don't care. I'm considered as some people consider me as one of the strong people. One of these people here. And I've talked about it on the show numerous times about my bouts and my suicide attempts. You know what I mean? So, but when people, unless I tell people that I attempted suicide, they were like, "No, never him. He's too funny. He's this. He's that. There. He's confident. He wouldn't be going through anything like that. There. No, I'm telling you firsthand that all of us, each and every one of us, we go through those seasons where we need other people. We need other people, and we need people in our support system in our lives. So I'm intentional about letting people know. No, I don't just say this because it sounds good, but I need that because I needed that once upon a time too. And the truth be told, I forget. I always hate that I can't remember what movie I seen it from, but one of the lines in the movie that always stuck with me, it pierced my spirit, man, was, sometimes the best friend you can have is a perfect stranger. And at the time, I didn't really get it, but then when I started thinking about it, I said, you know what? That is so accurate and so true because when you're talking to a perfect stranger, it could be about life situations, the most difficult thing that you're experiencing. They don't have this preconceived notion. They're unbiased. They're just listening to this person. So you don't. It's freeing in talking to somebody that you don't know sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So take advantage of it, but learning how to okay, so listen, I know I'm always the one that's there for everybody else. I got to get to the bag. I got to hold my own. I got to do all that there. But it is also important for us to be the vulnerable one every once in a while. You know what I mean? We have to be at the place you say, you know what? I just need somebody to talk to. I don't need just suggestions. I don't need help. I just need to vent. You know what I'm saying? I could use a hug right now. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. But don't be so tough. Don't be so what's the word I'm looking for? So self-indulging and whatever, so self-sufficient that you're beyond allowing people to help you. Because we all need help in some fashion or form. You know what I mean? So I think we need to be real intentional about that and letting people know while we still can, because we're losing people at an all-time high. You know what I mean? All-time high. We're losing people. So it's important that we don't let people assume that we're that for them, but to make sure that they know that we're that for them.
Right. I agree with that to a certain extent. My thing is, I'm not about to do anything for anyone else to the expense of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like people think I have boundaries. Now I do, because I was the giver. You know what I mean? I was checking on you. Now I don't call nobody. My phone only ring for 2 people, 3 people. That's it. Now I don't call and check. Nobody calls me. So I have to, you say self-indulgent. It's not, I don't do
That was the wrong word. Yeah.
I don't do self-indulgent. Mm-hmm. I do selfish. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to be selfish with you, because everybody don't really deserve what you have, what you possess. Because if you give it out freely to everybody, then how special are you? How much value are you? You know, what is your value? If you give everything you got out, then it's not like, if popcorn's everywhere, you're gonna be looking for chips. You know what I'm saying? Like, if all I see is popcorn, you giving pop all the time, I don't want that no more. I don't want that. You know, and then you become expendable, or however, you know, at someone else's hand. So I kind of keep me under wraps. And I learned to do that. And that was a hard thing to do, because giving to others and doing for others validated something for me. It validated that I'm the one you can call on. It validated I'm the strong one. It validated I got this all on my own type stuff. Like, when really, if I keep what I have instead of giving it to somebody, to people that's undeserving and unappreciative, then I have what I need for me. I don't have to look for it in somebody else, because we all have what we need.
Yeah.
And what we don't have, we don't need it. If you don't got it, you don't need it, because the God I serve ain't gonna let me go without. I've never lacked. Ever. I didn't have a job, none last year, but God didn't let me go without at all. Nothing got cut off. Nothing got repossessed. Well, I own my truck, but I went on a lot. Let me tell you how good God is. Let me just do this for a second.
Yeah, take time.
I went on the car lot. I heard God's voice. You know what I'm saying? That's a different thing when you have a relationship. When you have a relationship, ain't nobody else supposed to understand but your instructions. And I'm okay with that. So I went on a car lot, no down payment, no nothing. But because of the sisterhood that I'm in, you know, Unite, She Rose 2024, class of 2024, because I connected with them, because I had cancer, you know what I mean? All that played a part into me walking on a car lot, picking what I wanted, and getting discounted on top of that, and walked out with no money down, credit fair. You know what I mean? It ain't wonderful. It's getting there now, but at the time I had nothing. I walked in there with a smile and a purse and faith, like an absolute faith. and I walked out of there the same day with a car. And that's because God told me to go now. So when you have a relationship with God, you really, it's good to have people around, but you really don't need nobody,
Mm-hmm.
because God gonna supply everything you need, and He gonna put the people in your life that you can benefit from. Because when you're in a relationship, it's supposed to take you somewhere. It ain't supposed to you ain't supposed to just be sitting around doing nothing or hunching or whatever. You know what I mean? It's supposed to take you somewhere. Your relationship or your situationship or your friendship, all that's supposed to inspire you, and it's equal give and take, is reciprocity. So if one person doing all the work and nobody else is doing nothing on this side, then that's not a relationship, that's imprisonment.
Yeah, taken advantage of. And it's funny, one of my former guests who lied, she's out here in the comments. But we,
Oh,
we were going back and forth on that one episode, and just debating that and talking about that. And I'm a proponent of that as well. Like at this stage of my life, and it may sound arrogant to some people that don't understand it, and that's okay too. But I honestly believe that um all those other things, like I was talking about earlier, the help, the relationships, the family, the friends, the co-workers, whatever, the acquaintances, those are all just bonuses. You know what I
yeah.
mean? At the end of the day, the only thing that I need is God Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that I need. Because without him, nothing else happens, right? I can have all those other things, but if I don't have God, then it equates to nothing. So
Mm-hmm.
he's the only thing that I absolutely need. You know what I mean? And I get into it with all the time with some of my church friends. Well, no, God said that, it's not good for man to be alone and all that there. Okay, I get all what you're saying. And I get the theory behind all those things. But at the end of the day, the only thing that I need, I may want all those things, but the only thing that I absolutely need infinitely is God Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, and as long as he has me, guess what? I don't mind those nights that I cry because I know I'm not alone. Those days that I got to go for a walk and I'm feeling a certain type of way. He's feeling that way right there with me. So I'm still comforted. I'm still kept in the fact of knowing that I'm not going through it alone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And even when people, sometimes you might talk to a person when you're going through that season. Oh man, Mark, get yourself together, man. You got to brush that off. That might not be what you need to hear at that particular time.
Right. Like, brush it off. No, I want to be in my feelings today. I'm being in my feelings today. I'm feel like crying and eating ice cream and listening to the blues. That's what I'm doing today. That's what it is,
I get it, but like you said, at the end of the day, God is really what we need at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I wanted to ask was I don't know if you're familiar with her story, but many of us our age, so to speak, Ananda Lewis, she she got diagnosed with breast cancer. She used to be on one of the VJs on Yo MTV. Was it not Yo MTV Raps? TRL on MTV years ago. The pretty black girl had the nice finger, wavy hair, or what have you, with all that there. But I was watching a piece where she got diagnosed in recent years, and one of the things that took her so long to get diagnosed was she was afraid to get her mammogram done because she was scared of the possibility of radiation. For the women that's out there fearing the possible, like this is her words, what would you say to them?
It's it's not radiation right then.
Okay.
It's it's a, what you call it, like a picture. Like, have you ever seen the negatives? The
Mm-hmm.
back in the day when we had the cameras and you had to actually just disposable cameras and you actually
Yeah.
had to go. Okay, the pressing process of the camera of it taking picture, it has to press, right? So that's what it has to do. It has to squeeze your breast and take a picture of the contents inside. Now, whether it's, they have so much technology now. That's all it was imaging. That's why it's called imaging. It's not radiation. Radiation burns. It cooks you from the inside. That's what I had to get. I had to get 25 rounds of it. So no, mammogram, the initial mammogram is not radiation. It's imaging.
Okay. Yeah, and it wasn't. Well, I don't think that she meant like radiation as far as like radiation treatment. It's just the exposure to radiation. Like when even now when you go get if you get like an athletic uh injury and they go get the MRI, they put the plate on you or the covering on you because they saying that they don't want to expose you to radiation. And they got to put all that stuff on to come in the room. So I think a lot of people are fear of that, not even really knowing what exactly it is, but not actual radiation, but the exposure to radiation. Cause like, why you got to put all that on just to take me in a room, and I'm the one that's laying on the bed, but you got to put on this Velcro sheet and all this other kind of stuff.
Because it's not them. It's
Mm.
not them getting it done. It's you. So if their bones and all that is exposed, when they take the picture, it's going to be distorted because it's picking up all the rest of the bones and organs and all that in the room. So right. They have to put on that to keep your imaging together.
So the readings are more accurate.
Right. So regardless of what if it's radiation, however, would you rather know than not know?
And that's the individual thing, because I think a lot of people are like that. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to know. You know, I know people like that. I was like that for myself for years. You know what I mean? Y'all can find all that out once I'm dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? And that was just my approach.
Let me cough too hard. I'm going to the doctors. let me sneeze too many times. We going to see what's going on. Because I take care of myself throughout the whole year, throughout the day, throughout, you know what I mean? I do things to prevent. And that's another thing. If you ain't healthy before or doing things to prevent any kind of common cold or whatever prior to something actually drastically happening, then you should want to know, because it might be a little bit more than that. Like my body let me know in stage 1. If I was an unhealthy woman and obese and eating like I want to eat and high blood pressure and blood sugar out of whack, I probably wouldn't have felt that until it was like stage 4 or stage 3, because my body didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? It's so used to unhealthy stuff inside of it. So when cancer come or something come inside you, it's like, okay, well, we're just gonna ride this out till it get too bad. And then it starts showing in your body. Then it starts showing in your face, or showing in your bloodstream, however. But my body let me know what was going on immediately. And I took action immediately. So you have to be healthy throughout your life. It's like, I did a whole lifestyle change. And, I'm grateful I did that prior to cancer. I was used to be a smoker. I used to smoke cigarettes, but I stopped smoking cigarettes way before cancer. It was, matter of fact, it was Thanksgiving of 2022. Thanksgiving of 2022, I stopped smoking cigarettes because I almost choked to death. Like all these years I've been smoking cigarettes. This particular time, I was visiting my brother and my sister-in-law up in Georgia. That year. And I was sitting on the back and I'm just smoking. And I'm just about to pass out. My brother said, "You choking for real?" I said, I couldn't even answer him. Yeah. But when I'm tell you something, when I look down at that bucket that I had been putting them butts in that whole weekend. Ooh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. That whole weekend, I said, I ain't gonna smoke not another cigarette in my mind, because I couldn't say nothing. I was choking. I said, I ain't gonna smoke not another cigarette because these about to kill me. Like I said it straight like that. And when I said it in my mind and believed it in my heart that I was not gonna smoke nothing else, I started getting air back in my lungs. I really did. And my brother was like, "You all right?" I was like, "I am now."
Was that a hard thing to do, or was it just like
instantly? Cold turkey. I made up it because it's all about belief. I made up in my mind during choking that I wasn't gonna smoke not another cigarette.
Yeah.
And I ain't touched not another cigarette since then.
That's good. That's good. And I'm glad you said that, because I'm a big proponent on that too. And that's something that I usually stress on the show when I'm having or even outside of the show when I'm having like personal conversations and everything, And I like to use that as a foundation because I believe, no pun intended, but I do believe that everything is predicated upon what it is that you believe. You know what I mean? Like it all starts with what you believe. And I would never call somebody an idiot or that they're stupid for what they believe. If that is what you believe, that's your choice and that's your right to believe how you believe. It doesn't have to line up with how I believe, and it don't believe have to be what I believe, because I also say on the opposite end of the coin with that, just because you believe a thing doesn't mean that it's true. But what you believe is what how you move is predicated upon what you believe. So I'm glad that you said that, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people say, well, you know, man, I tried to quit this here and that there. And a lot of that has to do with how you really believe. You how committed to were you to really quitting that habit or doing that thing or going this place or doing that. You know what I mean? Is a part of you, it sounds good that you want to stop. But if you really want to stop, sometimes you really can. Like, we're not talking about addiction. We're not talking about all these different things. But belief is a big part in you getting to where you really want to be.
And my thing is too on that is when you truly believe, what you believe in should have results. Like you shouldn't just be believing in anything and you ain't got no results in what you believing in. Because the God I serve give me I have results. So when I hear, oh well, you ain't believing in the same God, no, I'm believing in my God, the God, mine, because he's speaking different tongues. What, like I said this to a girl today, one of my coworkers today while we was eating lunch. I said that FedEx truck riding by may not have meant nothing to you, but it meant something to me because you have no idea what I prayed for. That's how God speaks in different tongues. Somebody can come up and tell you as one phrase while we both sitting there, but to put to you, that might mean something to you, but to me, it might not mean nothing to me because I don't know what you and God been talking about. Exactly. So he speaks in many different languages, and it's in the book. It's in, I don't know exactly where it's at, but he did it already. It's evident that he can do it. Yes. And then he's accessible to everybody. So if the way you believe and don't got no results, then how you gonna be mad at the way I'm believing that got results? Like, I got results. I got proof. Proof is in the pudding.
And another thing, we also, the way I word it is, we got to stop minding God's business.
Exactly.
Well, why she get to do this and I can't do this and that? You mind a guy's business because do what he tell you to do.
Right.
Because it's not, my rule book is not, his rules for me is not going to apply to Shana. And Shana rules from him is not going to apply to me. You know what I mean? So we can't be pocket watching like we say in the streets and worried about what's going on over there. No, do what God will tell you to do. And like you say, I promise you, you will see results. He will prove himself to you in due time. You know what I mean? You just have to keep on believing.
It's immediate. Everything, the God I serve is an already God. Everything I need has already been done. It's up to what, like you say, belief. It's up to what I believe, whether it's going to come to pass for me or not. It's already written. My life is already written. Your life is already written. It's already written. But the road that God wants you to be on, it's up to you. And that's all in belief. Like I said this at Sunday because I advocated Sunday. I said, my belief, this is just me, ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. My belief is that we all are saved. He did that already. That's why he sent Jesus. He did that already. So the only thing that's keeping me with a communication and a direct communication with him is my belief and my total surrender, and my surrender ain't gonna look like nobody else. This thing is an individual thing. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Yeah, you may see me cutting up, and tomorrow my birthday, you gon' see me cutting up. But at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with the relationship I have with God. And plus, if God allows it, then I can do it, So I'm not going to be out here. I'm a grown woman, so I'm not going to be out here all willy-nilly. But at the end of the day, I am going to show the results.
I know that's right.
I am going to show the results. Yes.
No, so let me ask you: were you always? Did you always have the faith that you have now before your prognosis, or how did faith help you through this process, or did you come to know faith in a greater way after the diagnosis?
I always had faith, but I
Mhm.
always had faith in things.
Okay.
And, my faith was so superficial. It was very superficial. It was surface level. You know what I mean? But being diagnosed with cancer, I had to dig a little deeper. And I had to stop looking on the outside and look inward. So I believe, but I believe in me. I believe in, the woman that God made. That's who I believe in. And if I'm a gamble, I'm a gamble on me. I'll take me for $200, Alex.
Mhm.
you know, I'm gonna gamble on me. I'm gonna believe in me, and that's what it did. I was my faith was super. To answer your question, my
Mhm.
faith was superficial prior to cancer.
Mhm.
I if I couldn't see it right then it really wasn't, important. However, if God didn't do it right then, like you said, you gotta keep believing and and it'll happen eventually. No, it's already happened. It's up to me whether I believe it or not.
Mhm.
And when I start believing in me, everything started happening. Everything started happening for me. Everything started coming to me. I didn't have to work for absolutely nothing. The job I got, I went interviewed for and got it. The car I have, I walked on the lot and got it. The house I'm living in, it was a phone call. One phone call made and I got it at a discounted rate. Like everything was at a discount. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because that's favor.
Yeah.
That's favor. And I'm gonna walk in it
Can't pay
because
for favor either.
when I was and it ain't fair. And
Mhm.
guess what? The reason why they say it ain't fair is because once you start shining, it shows on other people. They say real recognize real. No, real recognize everything. It's about what real entertains.
Mhm.
You know, that's all.
Yeah.
That's how it. That's what I say.
All right. Yeah. Um, what else did I have for you? Okay, so you were speaking about advocacy.
Mm.
So what's some of the things that you said again? Because we want to get the information out there, the educational part of it. You said what is the age where women should start checking? Like
If you
35
have
or so?
history, if you have history in your family, it don't matter if it's breast cancer or not, any kind of cancer, it should be 35. If
Okay.
you smoke, it's 35. You're supposed to be going to get your mammogram at 35 with history or history of smoking or currently smoking. Go get your mammograms done. And it's all about the way you do it is go to the OBGYN and they're going to give you a referral to the nearest imaging center. And it usually happens with your yearly. When you get your yearly exam, they usually, if you're that age or whatever, the doctors usually go ahead and send a referral over. And then still too, it's up to you to go do it. It's a specialty, so you have to make the appointment. You don't they ain't gonna call you in for to check on your breasts. You gotta call them and make an appointment. So you still have to do a little legwork, which is fine to know that everything is okay.
Yeah. You have to be proactive. Like,
Right. And that's what happens when you proactive. You can dead everything right in its tracks. They couldn't find the lumps in my breast after the third chemo treatment. That's how good my God is to me. You know what I mean? So when you proactive and you listen to what's being said to you, the communication that's being said to you, then that feeling that you have, you're like, okay, I need to go ahead and do that. I need to go ahead and do that. I need to go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? Just keep saying I need to go ahead and do that. Eventually something's gonna happen to where you're gonna have to go ahead and do that. But you don't want to have something happen to make you do it. You want
mhm.
to go ahead and be proactive. But self breast exams is the number one uh detector.
Okay.
So
All
you do self breast exams, and you can go on Amazon. I got these little things off Amazon. You can go on Amazon and just type in breast self exams, and it's waterproof. So it goes in your shower. It hangs on your shower head. So you know. And then it got little bubbles on the thing for each month. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
but it got each month. So when you do it in January twice, after the second time, you just poke it out, and then you should mark. It said on here, mark the month you got your yearly exam. So when it comes back around to your yearly exam, the month prior, you go ahead and you make your appointment, and so you can have all that set up. Is being healthy is not a bad task. It's not a strenuous task. It's just a consistent task.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's it. And for all you single ladies, if you need any help or assistance, your boys, I'm here to help. I'm here to help
What you here to help with?
with the exam.
You
You might
don't know.
not know what to
Got
feel
no
for.
breast.
No, I'm telling you, because there literally has been times, and not getting too personal, but there have been times where, I might be messing around. I'm like, hold up, let's time out now. Is this normal? Like, when the last time you got checked out or what have you? Because it's something that's serious, and like you said, a lot of times it really can't go undetected. You know what I mean? And I'm being funny about it, but it's very important because it might be, well, oh, that's just a bump that I had since I was 16, or you know what I mean. We get so comfortable in this all this and just getting used to ourselves and our body sometimes, where it's like, no, that should not be there. Like, you should not be used to that. Like, you need to get that checked out. Like,
Right.
that's nothing to play with. And just because you don't, just everything that's bad for us doesn't mean that we're going to suffer pain or we're going to get migraines or we're going to see signs of it sometime. So that's why, like you say, I think it's very important that whether you're talking about prostate cancer for men, whatever the case may be, it's important that you get checked out with why, because you're not always going to feel like you think that you would feel, or feeling sick or something's wrong. Like you might live every single day and got something going on the inside that you don't know about if you don't go get checked out.
Right. Because I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel bad or nothing. And it felt like it was just like a bump. Mm-hmm. But when the mammogram and the ultrasound came back and they put it up on that screen, it was 3 tumors. I had 3 tumors inside me. And I just felt a little bump. That's it.
Wow.
The imaging showed that it was 3 tumors. Did it hurt? Yes. It's not fun, ladies. Men need to go get breast exams too. If you got breasts.
Hey, say it again for the people in the back. My sons used to always tease me. I'd be like, yo, ain't no grown man supposed to have no titties.
If you got breasts,
if you're a man, you're supposed to have a chest, not breasts. It always made me think about the scene in Life, which was like so funny to me when Reggie getting on the comedian Dave Chappelle character, and he said, "Who's sucking who titties?" Like that should never be a question. That should never be a question.
Well, it's not a bad thing. But what I'm saying is, if you got them, get them checked.
If you got them, take care of them, man. If you got them, take care of them.
Right. And if you be healthy throughout the whole year, you don't have to worry about it. But however, you should still be getting checked. 35, if you have history and if you've been a smoker, or if you in the house with a smoker and you ain't smoking, but you in the house with a smoker, because that breaks down your lungs and all that, your immune system to fight off things. Because my cancer was invasive ductal carcinoma. All 3 of my tumors were HER2 positive, meaning that they was feeding off my estrogen.
Okay.
So every time I ovulated, it would grow. Being that I caught it in the first stage, if I would have just not just like, okay, it's just a bump, you know what I mean? Like you said, it's just a bump or whatever, or been scared to get a mammogram because of radiation or because it hurts or however, the next month when I ovulated again, it would have been stage 2 or 3. Like, I don't know how much my estrogen would have fed it throughout that month. But if I didn't do it right then when I did, it would have grew. It would I know it would have grew because it's HER2 positive. It feeds off of estrogen, and I'm a woman, and we're made of estrogen.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you, and without being too personal, but when you say they found three, were they all in one breast, or was it distributed evenly?
It was in my left breast.
Okay, and you had a double mastectomy, right?
Yeah,
Or,
I got brand new things.
yeah, that's why. Yay for you.
Yay. I
But
ain't go through all this to have just one new one.
yeah, but for educational purposes, I'm asking like, if it was in one breast, what would be the why would it be necessary to have a double mastectomy and remove both?
Well, for me personally, I had dense breasts anyway, so I was in fear of it going into the other breast.
Okay.
I didn't want to have a lumpectomy or just a single mastectomy or whatever. No, I wanted both of them gone. I wanted all breast tissue gone, so that way it wouldn't be no. I'll be done with it. I'll be done with it. And it was yes, it's more painful, but at the end of the day, I'm carefree because I'm cancer free.
Now, is that more common to just go ahead and
Yes,
get both removed as opposed to just one? Or okay,
yes. It's more common, and then it's even getting even more common that women don't even get reconstructive surgery. They just keep it no breast and just put on the breast bra.
okay, gotcha.
And that's accessible. Like if you don't want to go back through the whole process of getting reconstruction surgery after your mastectomy, then
Mhm.
you can um get have not opt out and just have the bra.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: Is it? I don't know. I'm not sure if you know the numbers, but is it equally proportioned as far as percentages with white women with breast cancer and black women with black breast cancer? Like,
No,
or is it stronger in one demographic than another?
no,
Okay.
no. My sisterhood is majority white women.
Okay.
Um, but that doesn't define all the breast cancer women. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I don't really think there's a average.
Okay.
It's women.
Period. Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
talking
I wasn't
age,
sure if it was like a sickle cell type thing where you
no.
see
Now
us sickle cell,
when
but
we
not
talk
them.
ages, well, sickle cell is a different thing. That's
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
get.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I'm just saying for educational purposes. I'm not sure what that was like as far as demographic when it comes to breast cancer. Like, was it a majority white thing, or like or is it just like you said, it's just a woman's thing? Period.
yeah, it's just a
Not
woman's
a
thing,
woman. Okay.
and it's an age thing.
Okay.
It's it be women, more younger women are getting diagnosed now.
Mm.
So that's what I do know. It's in the past 2 years, more than 35% of the women have been under 30.
Wow, that's a pretty high number because you're kind of carefree in your
Very high
20s.
number.
Yeah.
So they're not even reaching the age of getting getting a mammogram. You know what I mean? For its insurance purposes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need to talk about. So everybody going out to vote and all that, then what are you voting for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and we can go on and on about women's rights, but my whole thing is a younger age. That's why being healthy is important. Um, Eating right, exercising, that sort of thing is important. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that because when I was watching, I started following Ananda Lewis after I seen her diagnosis or whatever. I'm like, whatever happened to her? And then I just so happened to come across the timeline and started following her and just watching more and more interviews and her being proactive with it. But she was one of those people, back to what we believe, she was one of those people too. Like, once she was scared of the possible exposure to radiation. That's why it's one of the reasons that she didn't get want to get a mammogram. And then she was also, too, her thing was, again, there's no right or no wrong, it's whatever person chooses, but she was more or less like, okay, trying to go like the Dr. Sebi route and changing her diet and my body knows how to get rid of this poison and what have you, whatever the case may be. Like, is that a common approach in the women's hood or the sisterhood, would you say?
for me, I went through. I did the healism way, for as me personally, but I still got chemo.
Okay.
I still got radiation. I still got operations. You know, I
You didn't
still
just go solely that way.
right. I still did what my doctors recommended me to do.
Okay.
That's in that field. My oncologist, I listened. My primary care, I listened. My radiologist, I listened. The nurses, I listened. You know, because it wasn't happening to me, it was happening for me. Like I said again, but for as my eating habits, I eat fresher.
Mhm.
You know, I've been the month of October. I have to be forgiven. It's my birthday month. Then I'll be finished on this weekend. I'll be finished celebrating. I got one more weekend. Give me one more weekend and I'll be done celebrating. But month of October, I just be all wrong with eating and whatever. I've been taking myself out to lunch almost every day. I treat me good. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Whether I'm eating salad or steak or just eating a bowl of noodles, it's gonna be good to me, and it's gonna be the best of the best. You believe that?
So that's right. If you don't, who will? You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that at all.
You know, you gotta. This is what I learned throughout this whole process. We talked about this last time too. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself.
Mhm.
Like if you sitting around moping and this and that, of course you're gonna get people, oh girl, you know, you can make it and blase this and just down energy. But if you walking around like ain't nothing wrong, they be like, do she? That's what I heard. Do she really got cancer? Or she just cut off her locks.
This
That's
ain't no
what
publicity stunt, is it?
right. Do she really got no? She just cut off her locks because she ain't with that man no more. Like, you know what I mean? It was so much going around. And then what I heard too was it can't be that bad. She ain't dead. You know what I mean? So that's why I
It's
walk
funny,
the way I walk.
that's funny how ignorant people could be sometimes when it comes to certain things that don't pertain to them.
Right.
Well, like you say, it can't be so bad. Why? First of all, that's I watch a lot of court TV, right? And just me personally, that's one of those things that bother me when I be watching trials and things of that nature there, because you see the different people in the comments, you read the jury when they show them from time to time, the judge, and when it literally drives me insane when I hear judges say, well, like, well, you don't appear to be that remorseful. Okay, right. What my level of remorse, like how can I display this remorse to you? I might be remorseful, but it might not display like you think. And because I'm gonna get sentenced all this time, I'm gonna be judged upon this because it doesn't measure up to your standard of remorseful, because I didn't shed a tear, because I didn't do, you know what I mean? That's like, it drives me crazy when people, well, if it wasn't true, if it wasn't true, they would say that they didn't. No, that's not everybody's approach. That's just your approach. That's just your perspective. And I think we got to stop holding each other to each one another's points of views and our perspectives, because it doesn't always mean that did. I'm like, if I know somebody lies on me, it's not my job to go out there and clear it up. I'm cool with that as long as I know the truth. As long as the people around me know the truth. I don't care what you say about me. You know what I mean?
And the ones that believe it, that I ain't clearing that up either.
Yeah, exactly. You believe whatever you
want to believe that. But believe that over there though. Don't believe it in my face, because I'm still human. I love the Lord, he loved me and all that good stuff, and
that's it.
Amen, hallelujahs and all that. But don't come over here with that foolishness.
What Toby said, don't try me, try Jesus.
No, don't even try Jesus. Go get him, because at the end of the day, you should have got him and told him to come on with you or something. Because if you talk to him, he'll tell you about me. I just don't do it.
By all means, I'm not saying that's the right approach. I'm just saying that's my approach, because I know people out there, well, nah, I'm about to get this right. I'm about to clear this up. So again, it's about different perspectives, but stop judging the rest of the world and all the other individuals that's on this world through your lens, through your perspective. It's not fair.
Well, it's more than one perspective. Everybody got one.
That's what I'm saying. That's what my coach used to tell her. He said, opinions
E-
is like a-holes. Everybody got one.
Everybody got one. Everybody got a way of the way they should do it. You can iron your pants, and I can iron my pants, and we both gonna do it a different way. But long as the pants get ironed, who cares?
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
just stay in your lane at the end of the day. Like me and my mom, we were talking the other day. I said it always, one of the things that blessed me after my divorce was how God got me to start looking at things, removing myself from the motions of things and looking at things neutrally. And I always share that with people because if it help you, cool. God be the glory. If it don't, just take it as another story that Marv told. But the way that it helped me was because like a lot of times we're so close to the thing or we in our feelings that we can't look at it from a neutral standpoint. So what I started doing was like just not in that relationship, but just in general in life, I would start playing things out like I was watching a movie or you know what I mean, like watching a TV show, what have you. Because it's always funny, like what you just said. It always baffled me when I would hear I have a lot of female friends, so you know a lot of times we get together and they feel comfortable enough to do the girl talk around me as well. You know what I mean? And girl, I would never put up with this, and I never would put up with that. Did he out here cheating on you and you know it? Yeah, and I get how you saying, I get how you feel that way, but your man is at home beating you up. She ain't dealing with that. So it's always funny to me how people always can tell you what they would and wouldn't do, but with the same thing that you're dealing with, I wouldn't do that either.
So how you try to tell me something your relationship ain't successful, regardless of what's
Yeah,
in it? You can't give me advice on anything that you're not successful in.
make that make sense.
You got evidence, then show me the evidence. The results. I don't want to hear the process. Show me the results so I can say I can have my own process. But if you show me a good marriage and a wonderful marriage and this and that, I don't listen to single people about what I should do in marriages and what I should do in relationships. I'm gonna listen to a successful married couple.
That's just about it. Just as about good as taking parenting advice from somebody that don't have children. Like,
Right. Like, how you gonna tell me how I should parent my kid and you got a dog for a daughter?
no, this is not a dog. This is my baby. No, it's not.
Right.
It's a pet.
You and
It's a
you and
pet.
Sally don't get out of here.
Like, it be so comical to me, but that's one of the things that really helped me in life just in general. And I've seen how it has how it has enhanced, not intense, but enhanced my relationships. Period. When I'm able to just stop getting out of my feelings, man, fall back, look at it from a neutral standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, you know what? Oh, okay, now I might see how you feel that way. Not that I agree with it, but now I have a different level of understanding as
Right.
opposed to just looking at it through my lens. And I think so many times that's the world that we live in, especially with this social media. You know,
Yeah.
I get tired of seeing the post with, why you always post, why you come on Facebook or social media to put all your business out there, and this is just for jokes and all that there. Okay, it's just for jokes for you. Some people really talk about real life stuff on their social media page. They talk about the things that they're going through. It's not about right or wrong. It's about different perspectives. So just stop being so judgmental from do your lens, because that's just your lens. You're one out of billions of people.
Right.
I'm quite sure we did surveys. A lot of people will be like, huh? That's how you really think? That's how you really believe? That's what you really like? They won't get it, but that's your right to be that way. So, it just is to me, it's all about being more understanding and more concerned about everybody else and then their well-being. And you made a good point. And I think that's my last thing I got to say on anything pretty much. But I think it's a real fine line. This is just my personal thing. I think it's a real fine line between being self-sufficient and being too self-righteous. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they look at it, in my opinion, what they consider as being confident is like a form of self-righteousness. And we talked about it earlier. Like, yeah, you might be doing all that there, but it's only through the grace of a God that is allowing you
It's
to
ego.
exactly. And I think that's a real sensitive area because it could be kind of convoluted. like they say, it just is a thin line between being considered as crazy and being insane and being a genius. It's a thin line
Well,
between love and hate.
yeah, but at the end of the day, being a genius has results. Being insane doesn't.
It has results. It's just negative results.
But that's not results because what is it benefiting? You know, so it is a thin line between arrogance and ego and all that stuff. But it's all like we go back to belief. It's
Yeah.
all about what you believe in because your arrogance might be taking you somewhere that ain't got nothing to do with me. Your ego might be, you and ego might be in a good relationship together and it might be working for you. It ain't got nothing to do with me. So I have to believe in what I believe in,
Mhm.
that I have results in. And
Yeah.
that's just the bottom line. And it's all about meaning we put on people too, because at the end of the day, if you ain't mean nothing to me 2 weeks ago, but you mean something to me now, then later on down the line, then it all goes to all it hit the fan, and then now you know what I'm saying. Now you ain't absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So how the best thing that ever happened to me turned into the worst
Yeah,
thing that
so
happened.
quick, so quickly at that.
But it's about the meaning. So once you
Uh-huh.
meaning off that person, then it don't mean nothing. They become neutral, like you said, they neutral. So you got to be careful who you give your meanings to, because
Mhm.
that friendship meaning is something that is so popular. All right, sis.
Mhm.
No, not really. Like
Yeah.
I'm so honest with me because I put me in check. I stand in my accountability. I'll be the first one to be like, you know what I said the other day, that was a little bit that was too much. That was too
Uh-huh.
much. And I seen the way the conversation changed and everything. That was way too much. I'll be the first one to say it because I feel the energy shifting. And if the energy shifting in a negative way because of me, of something I can control,
Yeah.
then let me go ahead and get that right. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Let me go ahead and even that out, iron that out, because we ain't finna walk around with wrinkles in our clothes.
Yeah.
That's what we ain't finna do. So, and then two, I'm one of those people like you'll never know if I got $100,000 in the bank, or or um or nothing, or zero balance or negative in the bank. You'll never know because
Yeah.
I'm the same person. Because not having money, I know that money never took care of me. God did.
Mhm.
Money never sheltered me. God did.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, that was a path that I had to go on to believe, to get to my belief pattern. If I never would have went down the road that I went down, and never would have traveled the road that I traveled to get to where I'm at, I wouldn't be who I am. So I'm grateful for it all.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm grateful for the gains, the losses, and and if you think you mad now, y'all keep on watching.
I know that's right.
Cause I got results. Look, Marv, I got results.
All
I
right.
got results. You hear
Yeah.
me? I'm all over Louisiana.
And that's just the
And
beginning.
look, I ain't even left. I ain't even left home. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So hold on. Let me pop out for a second, because sometimes you gotta pop out and show them.
Uh,
For inquiry minds.
uh-huh.
That's who that. Who that? Who's that girl?
Yeah.
Na, 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 na. Okay.
Good night, that girl. And I was so happy and overjoyed when you sent me the article. I was like, wow, like this is amazing.
Who's that girl? That's
Yeah.
all my sisters right there. That's who we
Okay.
graduated. She rose class of 2024. We're all over the map. You hear me? Louisiana know our name.
What's the
And
name of the group?
uh Unite Events, uniteevents.com.
Okay.
That's where any woman that's newly diagnosed with cancer, any form of cancer, not just breast cancer, but breast cancer is more popular, and they done gave it a month, so that's why it's more prevalent to everybody's attention and stuff. But all cancers, every single one of them, you can go to Unite, YOUNIGHTEVE nts.com, and you could it's a questionnaire on there. And 2025 class, I think it's open now. We take on 25 women, close to 25 women at every year. You dedicate your 6 months to yourself. It's all about you. But it's in a sisterhood to that's not diagnosed with cancer, that's done made it through. Some of us still going through as we speak. But it's a wonderful, wonderful group, wonderful, wonderful sisterhood. I'm so grateful to have met each and every last one of these warrior women. I thought I was walking this earth by myself mentally. I thought I had it all figured out until I got with those women. And it's one of those things you really don't have to say anything. You could just look, and they be like, you know what? She need that hug, or she need you maybe just need to eat something, you know what I mean? And it could be just that, like your color gone out your face. Okay, she mustn't take her medicine today, so we gotta go, you know what I mean? Like, we automatic. And then I could say something that I'm going through that nobody else would ever know, but in this sisterhood they know. So I could say, girl, radiation was horrible. If you ain't never been through radiation, you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so, but in this sisterhood, they know. So this is one of those things that I'm not alone. I didn't know I needed them, but I'm so glad God pointed me in that direction. Miss Kinsey, she's the founder of Unite. And I'm telling you, that woman can see the light in everybody. She sees the light in everybody because she's unapologetically light herself. And I'm grateful, grateful, grateful. She has built a wonderful team around her, and that helps each and every last one of us. They done kept me sane because everybody know I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I don't try to hide it. So, but they just let me just be as bright and shiny and loud and wrong. they love every minute of it, and I don't have to change absolutely nothing. And that was the thing in my surrender. Listening to God's word, listening to his instructions. I don't have to change who I am. You don't have to change who you are. Let's go there for a second, Marv. You don't have to change who you are in surrender and listening to God and walking this road. And only thing you have to do is be willing. That's it.
Yeah.
What's not for you will fall away. You ain't gotta change it. Oh, when I straighten up, or when I stop smoking, or when I stop drinking, and when I stop doing this, I'm gonna just go ahead and give my life to Christ. Your life already Christ. Your life is already Christ. You didn't wake you up this morning. So once you get into surrender and realize that you've never been in control ever, you've never been in control. It's all been by your belief system.
It's all an illusion.
Yep, it is.
I always say the same thing. Even me, when I minister on an individual level, I always ask people, say, well, if you could give it up, if you could get yourself together, what would you need God for? If you could do all that on your own strength, what would you need him for? You know what I mean? So a lot of times I think, especially people that grew up in church or been around church environments their whole lives, that's a big misconception that we had. You know, I ain't gonna play with God. You know what I mean? I gotta straighten up, like you say. I gotta straighten up before I go in. Nah, I need to run to God in this jacked up situation because that's why I ain't straight now.
Right.
And I don't care what the rest of y'all around here think. Long as God knows with my heart and where I'm coming from and my intent, he can work with that. You know what I mean? Because I tell people all the time, the church should be, and that's another personal thing, my opinion, but the church should be nothing more, nothing less than a spiritual hospital. I never see anybody wake up feeling good in the morning and say, you know what? I think I'm gonna go to the doctor and get a physical today. You usually go to the doctor because something ain't adding up, something ain't right. We need that need to be our mindset when it comes to the house of God. And when we're talking about churches and when we're talking about our mosque and for those my Islam believers and whatever, you know what I mean? We need to go there because we can't figure it out all in with our own strength. Because like you said, if you if you could control it, you wouldn't be up 3 o'clock in the morning. Why am I still awake? You would automatically say, okay, I'm waking up 6 o'clock. But if God say you ain't waking up, guess what? It don't matter how many alarms you got set, what plans you got, you not waking up. So again, keep the main thing, and give. Like, I think that's a big part of it. We fail to realize that that's what this thing called life is really about. Giving ourselves back to the Creator. He's given us free will, but he wants to see if we're going to purposely and freeingly give ourselves back to him to do what he wants to do with us and use us how he sees fit. Because
surrender.
That's it. And then when you do that in his timing, he gets to create a Shana, to be a shero for others and to be an example for others. And they say, nah, baby girl, guess what? You're not at alone.
I always was a shero for others. This time around, God been showing, and I have to correct you on that. God been showing me how strong I was for others. This time around, in my surrender, he showed me how strong I am for me. It's a huge difference. Now my cup is actually full. I'm not expending off my residuals or what I created to help somebody else. I'm helping people just by being me. And that's it. The church is in me. I am the church. So we go to the building. It's about fellowship and testimony at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because the pastor, I ain't trying to step on too many toes, but the pastor can't tell you absolutely nothing that God ain't told him to tell you. So why would he need a middleman? Like, my thing is, I love, I used to go to Second Baptist or however, and Sister Self and Pastor Self, they are absolutely amazing. That's where I will go when I want to go to some churching. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll go to my home church in Mississippi. But however, when you in the building, it's all about fellowship and testimony. Because if you can't tell the goodness of how God has been doing for you, you just in there just listening and then leave, who really getting anything? Especially if you walk out and you still doing the same exact thing before you walked in there and don't have no mindset and no willingness to do anything different. That's insanity. That's insanity. When you do the same thing over and over and over and expect something different to happen, it's not going to. Only way it's going to happen is if you make it happen. And it's all about your belief. It's all about
that's a whole other show. That's a whole other show because like it's sad to me sometimes to see how many people really do that. It's like I was having a conversation literally Sunday, like, I'm gonna choose relationship over religion every day of the week. That's just me personally. But it's sad to see how many, like you said, you spoke of, so many times we go to church and we're active in church, we're doing all these different things, but there's no change, there's no growth, we're doing these things out of tradition. So who is it really benefiting other than your ego, like you talked about earlier? Yeah, you feel like you did something because, oh yeah, pastor, I'm doing this and I'm a part of this ministry and I'm doing all that there. But what is your relationship like with God?
And I was hurt. I was doing every event. I'm talking about I was in the choir. I was a youth choir. I was going back and forth to the conferences and this and that. But I wasn't talking to God like that. Like I was showing. I wasn't doing none of that. Now, I don't even want to talk to people and God just all over me. They were like, hey, sister, hi, you can see me? I didn't know you could see me. I'm sorry. I didn't know you could see me. I'm trying to be incognito, going in and grab me some bread and some eggs real quick and come on up out of here. Now I'm in the middle of that's total surrender. That's total surrender. When you in the middle of the grocery store, don't want to be seen, and you telling about the goodness of God. That's the church is with you. The church is in you. So if you ain't doing that, then you can't really be mad at what I got going on.
I know that's right. All right, well, I got some quick hitters for you before we get out of here.
Lord.
Some in my one of my favorite shows back in the day, and I so wish, I think he passed away, I'm not sure, but he used to be Inside the Actor Studio, where he would just come on and interview everybody, but he would go off with these questions here. So I didn't tell you about him beforehand because I wanted to see What's your spontaneous
my
answer? All
yeah.
right, so in my James, I'm not even going to try to do his voice because he's so. What is Mr. Nas? What is your favorite word?
Nope.
I like that one.
Nope. I got a whole sweater that say nope. Nope.
The reason I laugh because I was literally having a conversation yesterday with like people. I kind of I'm kind of baffled that people always talk about. I have a hard time saying no, and I told him I said, listen, I said it is so easy for me. I could almost teach a class.
I mean, you could say it in so many different languages, so many genres. No, hell no. We ain't doing it. No. Do something safe. So many ways you could say it.
I'm glad I'm not one of those people that struggle with it. So that's why I laughed. I'm glad to know I got somebody. I'm not alone.
Yeah, that's no. And then you can go back. You can go back from no. But if you say yes, then you stuck in it. You committed. But if you say no, my girls they say that all the time. Especially my oldest girl. She said, "Mama, your favorite word is no." But I said it is because I could say no, go think about it, and then I can come back and we can revisit it. But once I say yes, I'm stuck.
They're gonna hold you to it. But
Yeah.
you
So nope.
all right. So to follow up with that, what would be your least favorite word?
Yes.
I didn't want to assume. I didn't. Girl, you funny.
Yes.
what
No.
what turns you what turns you on?
What turned me on with
Yeah.
what?
What,
Me.
however you want to take it.
I turned me on. I ain't even finna lie. I'm gonna say this real quick. Girl, we gotta get off this subject. I'm so fine. Like I turn me on. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm so sexy.
So what turns you off?
Others.
Girl, I can't mess with you. Got a few more. What sound or noise do you like to hear the first thing in the morning?
Nothing.
Mhm. Okay. What profession other than yours would you like to work or attempt to?
Well, I'm actually actively getting my life coaching license.
Okay. All right. What's a profession other than yours that you would absolutely not want to do?
Garbage truck.
So they got to smell that off.
Oh, oh.
All right. The last one. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive and enter into the pearly gates?
Well, I'm already in heaven. Because that's not really what I believe. What I believe is that we can create heaven. If we can create hell in our minds, which is like attempting suicide, we can create heaven too. And I'm in heaven already.
Mm-hmm.
And what he already said to me is come on, come this way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going that way.
That's what's up. All right. Did you have anything you wanted to share or put out there before we get up out of here?
Yes, a couple things. Um, breast exams are very, very important. If anybody have any questions or concerns or however, they can also DM me and ask me questions. Breast cancer awareness is just not for October. I don't just advocate for October because cancer happened throughout the whole year.
Absolutely.
But they just set this month aside for breast cancer. And the second thing is my sisterhood has a podcast, Still I Rise, on every platform. It's on. I shared it on my page, so you can just click it. Just click it, and you can go straight to it. We need more followers to hear these warrior women's stories because we're from all walks of life. We from all ages and all different backgrounds and different races, and we was brought together by cancer, but we choose to stay together by stay together with love, you know. And for newly diagnosed women, you are absolutely not alone. There is an organization set aside for you, so you can click. I I have it on my page. All you gotta do is just touch stuff. Just touch it. Just touch the links on my page that I've been sharing things with. But it's Unite Events, YOUNIGHTEVENTS.com. And just go on there, shop around. We have apparel, we have our magazine on there, we have different stories to let women know that they're not alone. And believe in yourself. That's the third thing. Believe in yourself, because inward is where it's at. If you're looking outward for something that you already possess, it's not going to work out there. All you have to do is believe in you. Give you 100% of you. You give it to everybody else, give it to you. That's why some of us seem depleted and emptied out at the end of the day, because they done gave themselves out and they ain't saved nothing for them. So give yourself 100% of you and see what you turn into. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing to have total faith and surrender. Um, I hear people talking about, oh, it's hard. It's hard living for God. No, it's hard living for God when you still want to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it's hard. When it's hard living for God when you still think you in control.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yes, I still have human experiences. You're gonna see one all day tomorrow. All day tomorrow. So this, you know, whatever, mind your business. But I still get to be me. So it's that's what God told me to do.
Mm.
Be you in me. Okay.
I like
And
that.
then I can have this, and that. Okay. But at the end of the day, God is everything, everything to me, every single thing to me. And I love my kids. Yes, I do. But I love me more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my future husband, I'm gonna love you, baby. I'm gonna love you good. But I'm gonna love me more.
As you should.
You know, that's just what I say. Um, do your self-breast exams. You're looking at a survivor. Well, you're looking at a warrior. I didn't know how strong I was a year and a half ago, but I do now. And I share it every chance I get. You know that because I blog it. I blog it on TikTok. That's where we met.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I
So,
share every chance I get. But he said the results is mine. The process was for the people.
mm-hmm.
So if you looking at a way to go, it's in total surrender. You're gonna have to give up what you like and what you want and all that, and do exactly what God wants you to do. And it's not hard at all when you being truthful with you.
Yeah.
When you being absolutely 100 with you, you could be 100 with anybody else. If you know your BS, you could see BS from a mile away. You know what I'm saying? When you was lying, then you know when somebody else lying too. It's all a mirror.
Yep.
It's all a mirror.
I believe it's like you said. I believe it starts with your mindset.
Absolutely.
You have to retune that mindset.
Yep.
So I appreciate you always being so bubbly and sharing this information with us, ladies. Please take care of yourself, and guys too. Like we talked about that, guys. If you got the breasts out there, go get those things checked out too. Don't be ashamed.
For
Let's
real.
make sure we all being intentional about good health and living lives as long as healthy lives,
Yes.
quality of life, as long as God allows us to be here, because I think that's very important. And loving on each other, telling each other how we really feel about them while we still can. I don't want to hear no words at my homegoing service, my celebration of life, funeral, whatever, my memorial service. That I don't want to hear nothing that I ain't know right here on this earth when you could tell me to my face.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So show me. I'm a firm believer in that. You can show me, and that's what I always say. I can show you better than I can tell you. So if I
Right.
say that I love you, I need to. It don't need to be just in word or in deed. It needs to be in actual action. because love is an action word.
It is an action word.
So let's be intentional about that. It's like since September, we've been putting it out there every show. If you're struggling, if you're going through life situations, you're having suicidal thoughts, or you're going through a major crisis, feel free to call 988, same way you would call 911 for an emergency, and someone will be able to talk to you there in real time. Because I'm a real big proponent in that. There, we all need somebody, and you're not. No matter what you're saying, or no matter what you feel, do not let the enemy allow you to feel like you're going through this alone. Nobody understands. People do care. Even people that don't know you, we do care.
Absolutely.
So be intentional about getting the help that you need, and feel free to dial 988. Mr. Nah, happy born day early again. And I'm gonna text you in another couple of hours to tell you again. Do you and celebrate all day tomorrow for the rest of the week, like you say. I'm glad that you're still here with us. And I'm always glad that God got you in a place to where your light is shining bright, and you have no problem with sharing your experience with the world. I gladly appreciate that, and thank God for allowing God to use you in that way.
Thank you.
Yeah. And as usual, in signing off, I thank everyone for tuning in. We're not going to be here. We're not doing the show next Tuesday because next Tuesday is election day. I'm going to let y'all enjoy that there. We'll be back with the first of the month freestyle on November 12th. And everybody enjoy the rest of your week. And as usual, in signing off, DeAndre and Elisha, know that Daddy loves you intentionally, but I also love you unconditionally. So the next time we get together, peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.